Good evening, everybody. It's time again for your Rowdies Talk Radio, the Green and Gold Gospel.
Hey there, little Red Riding Hood, I got a problem and it's complicated. Know a few changes and I just can't ignore the signs. They're there now and it's so loud it hurts. Hear me growl, hear me howl when the full moon is out. Hear me growl, you see me run, you see me jump. Try to fight, but I emerge with the prize in hand. You better watch out, it's gonna take more than what you got. Our lives are on the end, the silence is deafening. There's no help against this full moon. Don't ever say I didn't warn you, because I came to play, 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 wow!
Hello, Rowdies fans. Is it our first regular season victory pod? Well, yeah, it's our first regular season victory pod. I was at home. Things are going great. Everything looks great. You know, we're back. I'm your host, I guess host. I don't know. I'm here. I'm Dan. I'm joined by Ben as usual. You know, I don't know what to do with my hands. We won a regular season game at home. What are we going to do? I don't know. I'm all out of sorts. This is new. This joy is new. How are you doing?
I'm with you. I don't know what to do with myself. I didn't even turn on my green lights in my room. It's like it's all bright here. It's like everything just feels good. Like it's a whole new beginning. It's amazing.
We're out of the wilderness maybe for a week. I don't know. It's a brand new world.
Oh, no, I'm not going to do it. I was tempted to bust out in song. I had to stop myself.
Thank you. Spare our listeners you singing.
I know, for everyone. I know. No, I mean, look, man, life is good right now, right? Like, I mean, it was a good win. It was a convincing win. My kid's in town, so he got to go with me and kind of experience the day. So I told him now he has to go to every game because, like, now they're good luck charm, which is fine because he lives with me and that's how it's going to go. But yeah, I mean, just like the whole energy, the whole vibe was good, man. So, yeah. And then, the Sun won the championship. That was cool.
Yes.
Good for them, for Tampa Bay. Like, that was great news. So, yeah, I mean, what can you say, man? Things are feeling on the up right now. How are things up there?
Great. And well, I mean, if
Yeah,
we're gonna,
Yeah.
and
I
the
guess.
Rowdies, but it's even better because we beat Miami. The Sun beat Fort Lauderdale.
Yep.
Tampa Bay is greater than South Florida every day. Our Cubans are better. Our soccer is better. They just can't compete, right? Like, it's all Tampa Bay all the time, despite what my hat says right now. But the Rowdies obviously made life difficult for themselves, which they are apt to do this season, going down towards the end of the first half, 1-0. But they would not be denied this time, finally, and came back for a 2-1 victory. I didn't get to watch the entire game. I was at a wedding in Colorado. I promise one of these days I'll actually be home and available again to be able to
Dan's
enjoy.
just living our best life, guys. That's what's happening here. Dan's living all of our best lives.
My trip home was not great. I had
I saw that.
multiple canceled flights, and it was a disaster. But anyway, the Rowdies won, and the first half, you messaged me during the game, and Jeff, that it was probably the best half you've seen the Rowdies play all season. What did you see to make you think that? I know, we've said for the entire time we've been doing this podcast, we've been missing Lewis Hilton. He played, we won, not a coincidence, but was his presence the only factor in the first half that made it the best performance? The addition of Alvarez, who started as well, was it the two of them? Was it the whole team? What did you see that made? So
there's a lot of layers in there, and kind of leading to all points that you talked about. I mean, obviously, to start the game, we were a little. I text you about. I saw Leo coming off the field, obviously laboring a little bit. That was concerning. Obviously, that late scratch puts in Rodriguez on the right side, which I'm not sure that's exactly the position that Leo would have been playing in. I feel like they would have had him up top, but then again, it would have left our right side open, so maybe that is naturally where he's going to go. But I like the setup of the field. Again, we played with, what did we talk about? A 3-back. And I really feel like when we're at our best is at a 3-back, we overload the midfield and we really allow ourselves to play. 100%. And I text you guys this as well. Lewis Hilton is the glue that keeps this entire thing moving. He connects the front to the back. He literally moves the ball so well across the field. Everyone just moves more in sync when he's out there. And I mean, I know we all know that, but boy, was it so noticeable. And to your point of what have we talked about for weeks? We've seen moments and pieces where these things have been coming together. We see these things happening, but this time it wasn't pieces and moments. It was consistent and it was constant movement. I mean, I don't want to beat up on Bondre for the own goal. I did a little bit through text, I think, in jest. But I mean, he had himself a good game, and he's had a number of good games. I'm not going to let one blunder kind of ruin what he's done, as far as what he's done to this point. I mean, it's just he tried to do something, it didn't work. I would like to see him do something different, but we have the advantage of hindsight. I get in the moment what he was trying to do, it just didn't work.
I will jump in here with a slight defense. I looked at the highlights before jumping on just for a refresher, and I couldn't tell if there was a miscommunication where he wasn't expecting to play the ball, because it also, like, I would assume normally in that situation he would have taken like a step or two back or gotten to allow it to set, and he just like ran up, tried to chest it. It went random spot. It was a bungle, but I don't know if he wasn't expecting to play it, and then like he was called up to get it and he was already like in between and kind of misread the bounce or something. I don't know. It wasn't great, but it fits in the theme of this year. But continue.
Yeah, I mean, I think to your point, like it looks like he got caught between two thoughts, and hesitation is a killer in this game, especially as a goalkeeper, right? Because he's been playing a little higher on his box when they're on defense, when they're in the other half. And you saw immediately that, like, Lawrence is like, it's yours. I'm leaving. Like, he put his arm up, indicating, hey, this is your ball. But because he was playing so high, he got stuck between dropping into his box and coming out to play it. And the way it bounced, there wasn't a clean way that you would, because normally you think you just come out there and you just boot the ball as far as you can and be done with it. But because of how it landed, he had to play off his chest, and of course the attacker was right there. And I mean, it happens. It sucks. But I mean, truthfully, it was against the play. I mean, we were controlling the field very much so. I mean, we were moving up and down very cleanly. It was obvious that we were having to use our wings more. Miami plays a very tight defense. You heard Jeff and I forget the other guy's name. I apologize to him. But you heard the announcers talking about how Miami's playing a very tight defense. And they play very tight block. They all drop in behind really fast, which is something that we struggled with. But with Lewis Hilton, as you noticed, we were able to break it down much easier. But obviously, we had to expose the outside lanes, which we took advantage of in order to create more space in the middle. So we had to have success on the outside to get the middle to work. If they don't respect you on the wings, it's not going to happen. I do want to say in this game, it's not that I'm not a fan of Rodriguez. He's just kind of, for me, like an unknown. I don't know him well enough. I haven't seen his game enough to have that trust in him to be a starter, but he had himself a very good half. I did notice though, like pretty early on, like probably I think the 25th minute or so, if I remember my notes correctly, he looked like he was already tired, which maybe that's just how he looks. Some players look tired after 5 minutes, but they can play a whole game, a full 90, no problem. To me, he just looked like he was having some issues. So I mentioned early on, I was like, I think Nick Moon's going to be our first sub. But to the point of how did the half go, it just, both whoever was playing central, whether it was Bassett or Alvarez, whoever moved over, they worked so cleanly with whoever the defender was on that side and the winger on that side. We're able to create a lot of room and successfully get in behind the defense routinely over and over and over again, which again, as you saw, especially in the second half, which really created our opportunities, it opened up the middle of the field. I really like this kid, and knowing his second game with us, he looks at the game differently than any of the rest of the players. And what I mean is, he wasn't afraid to just make a quick turn and boot it down the middle of the field, but not just boot it, with reckless abandonment, with touch, to boot it over top to get it past us and behind, which he did. And he has a different view of the field than any of the other players we have right now. I think he is going to be an absolute problem. I've been saying it for a week now. He is looking better already. I like him playing underneath the strikers. If we play either two or one up top, I like him playing underneath them. I think he creates a lot of opportunity. He's not afraid to take players on, which I really love to see in a young kid like that. I mean, again, just as a whole, from the back to the front, minus the blunder and goal, we really controlled this game. I mean, totally. And I was very excited to see. I mean, like you saw when the whistle blew at halftime. I mean, they immediately glued on to Lewis Hilton, and you could just look at the face saying, like, no, this isn't happening. We've got this. The wheels are turning. Like, you're like, you knew that little man was going to make some magic happen in the second half, and sure enough, it did.
So Lewis Hilton ends up winning, getting a place on the team of the week because of this performance, 2 assists. Also, the gentleman's name you forgot is Drew Felios. Sorry,
Drew. I'm sorry. I talk to you like every game too, man. I'm sorry, Drew.
How dare you? He is
so sorry.
Our broadcast legend and friend of the pod. Yeah, I mean, I think from the bits I've seen, the highlights, what you just said, we still need a striker. Like, yes, Arteaga scores our game winner, but we'll get into it in the second half, but it's a header off of a recycled corner that Lewis booted back in. We're still, both goals in the second half are from set pieces or from the corner from Aaron, a recycled corner that Lewis dumps back in. We're still struggling to score from open play, which if Lewis is back, if Alvarez is going to do these things, Wubens and Arteaga and Mustali need to start putting the ball in the net, or others. I mean, Bassett, but we still need to get there. It feels like creation is back, especially with Lewis, but if that's going to be the problem, I mean, finishing was a problem last year. We've underperformed. It's been a problem so far this season. We've underperformed. We've hit every post, crossbar, excuse me. But it's something that needs to be fixed, and I don't know how without changing strikers. We've tried without bringing in new ones or something. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, heck it, throw Mustali as like a false 9 and let Leo and Alvarez run off him. I don't know. But anyway, we come back in the second half and leave it kind of late. I don't remember what minute, but Guillen's goal, I think it's actually here in the show notes. I could actually learn how to read and get this right. Yeah, 74th minute. And then it was 90 plus 2.
Don't pass over that goal. I know how you reacted to that goal. Talk about that goal, because that was big.
I was getting there. I was just saying, we left it to stoppage time to win and 70. But I just want to it was like the match of dreams, right? The connection of dreams. Lewis Hilton back from injury with his first start, puts in a corner. Aaron Guillen scores only his second professional goal to draw us, and that celebration shows how much that meant to him and this club means to him. That it wasn't like even a badge kiss; it was almost ripping that badge off his shirt towards the mob, and that just shows the passion and the emotion that man has. And I know he probably isn't the platonic ideal of a Rowdies captain. Leo's been here forever. He seems to be the face. Aaron's more passive behind the scenes, but that energy and that passion and that love of this club and that desire, it shows what he brings to the locker room and why that armband is his. It meant the world. I said that goal and that moment meant so much to Aaron, but he means so much more to us. And it was fantastic to see. I mean, Arteaga's goal, there was you could see the release from the team of this energy and this frustration, the stuff and the stress off these guys. But that Guillen celebration showed so much about where his head is at, where we're at as a club and all of that. It was a lot. And I really do think we said it after the win against Tormenta, even though we had to go to Louisville next, but it did feel like this club was turning the corner. That's 2 wins out of 3 matches that we've played. That's, but sure, one was a Jägermeister Cup win, but this is something is in the air, maybe we're back up. Yeah, we only jumped a spot in the standings, but we're only 6 points out of a playoff spot or something, I believe. So it's close at the bottom here, and we just got to get our feet back under us, which it seems, and play off that emotion that Aaron Guillen has, because good Lord, sir. And I mean that the two cross, the corner that Lewis put in, and then the recycled cross that Lewis put back for Arteaga's goal were pinpoint. It shows why he's team of the week and is truly the heart and soul of this club. Like this team, he's the engine. He is what propels this club forward. And we were severely lacking that. And, Cammy McPherson, it would have been perfect if Cammy was able to stay healthy until Lewis got healthy again. And then if we lost Cammy and Lewis came back, obviously it didn't work that way. I think this corner would have been turned a long time ago. But we could do 4 episodes on the importance of Lewis Hilton. We can sit here for days. The second half, obviously, Miami pushed at the end. The defense held, which also is not something that's been happening. So finally, we have a complete game with one individual error that led to a goal, and we scored 2. I don't know what to do. It's good news. But what else did you see in the second half? Like, I know you said you had a comment coming that you were going to save. What did you see in the second half?
No, it was kind of just a play on off of Alvarez and kind of his play. But I mean, truthfully, it's more so just kind of what the team did in the second half, because we've been talking about how the team needed belief. They needed to tell themselves, we belong here. We can do this. We're going to do this. And so this game was really a culmination of that. And it showed, like you said, in Aaron's celebration. It was just like he was everybody on the field and in the stands in that moment with that goal. I mean, I had a chance to high five him after the game and just kind of tell him great job. And I mean, he was still zooming at the end of that game, and rightfully so. I mean, it's like this team, the last kind of piece they were missing, aside from obviously like a Lewis, someone who could really, like the glue, the engine, as you said, that really moves this team, is kind of the heartbeat of what this team does. It lives through him. We'll call it the Lewis Hilton effect. I know that was cheap, but I'm going to do it anyways. Lewis Hilton effect. He embodied everything that this team needed right now, which is just a belief that they can do this. It doesn't matter who's in front of you. It doesn't matter if it's Miami or if it's Louisville or whoever, that if you put your mind to it, you believe yourself into it, you can do it. And in the second half, I mean, I think we really, we took it up another level. I mean, there was an intent with the way the guys are running. There was an intent the way they went for tackles. There was intent the way they went for header. I mean, there was just an extra effort, and there was a buzz with the team, and I could feel it all the way up by the suites where I was sitting. If I had
just rub it in. I was by the suites. I work for the club.
I take advantage of my seats. I get air conditioning all game, and I get fed. So just
that part shows.
I don't care. So if I had one small thing to pull from this, and I hate to do this, but it kind of plays into something we talked about a couple weeks ago. We are trying to play a high press, and you can see a team that is dedicated to doing it. But I got to say, and I hate to do it against the one guy who has been putting the ball in the back of the net, but Passius needs to give us more on the counter press. He needs to be doing more up top to create havoc, to get that ball turned over. There were too many times where his effort in trying to win the ball back, it was like a light jog, like it was like a Sunday league kind of jog, and it really angered me to see that when you've got 9 other guys in that field, 10 other guys just going all out, and he's just lightly going. And I kind of wondered to myself, is that kind of one of the problems that's been going on? I am glad that he is starting over Arteaga. Look, I mean, you need the guy who's scoring goals to be on the field, and he almost had one in that second half. I mean, that laser that he shot to the upper 90 was, I mean, the movement on that ball, and I mean, not just as a knuckleball, but the speed at which that thing came off his foot was insane. Like, you blinked and it was already past the goal. It was crazy. Like, that's why he's in there. I don't know what we need to motivate that guy to just help us out a little more at defense from the front. But man, if we could get that from him, I have a feeling this team changes just that bit more, just that tick up a little bit further.
Yeah.
I say that in the midst of a win, but it's just something I really, it bothered me, because I'm seeing all these guys have been out there just as long as him, but like the midfielders who are running up and down that field, they had no problem going on. And I didn't see that matched effort, and it frustrated me. That's all.
That's valid. I mean, like even a Messi and Mbappe, they can't get away with that. But the game is where not only you need to press or track back and what the coach asks of you, because the system depends on it. And if you're not going to be that guy that tracks back or presses, you're putting us at a defensive without the ball. Like, you know, the press depends on everybody's participation. And if you're not going to participate, you're putting us at a disadvantage. And if you can score goals, it doesn't matter, because if we're conceding 3 and you can only score 2, we're screwed. I do agree. I think like he's the only one scoring goals, but if Arteaga can find his legs, his scoring boots, then maybe we can, you know, bench him for it, and, you know, try to get it through his head that, like, you're not, you know, you are a cog in this machine. Yes, an important one, but you are still a cog in this machine, and you're not any more important than anybody else here. And either you can press or you don't. But I mean, he's scoring our goals. But I mean,
I know it's tough to make that argument. It really is, right?
Yeah. I mean, right, especially when you're in such a rut as we've been in, you need to score goals to win. And I think, like, you know, he's a very talented player. I love what he brings to this club offensively, but he's, you know, just needs to find that extra bit and play a little bit of defense that the coach asks, and your game will be elevated, and this team will be elevated, and success will follow. So, you know, maybe sometimes listening to the coaches is a good thing, you know, like, maybe. Could be wrong though.
No, I mean, yeah. So to go on the half here. So like I said, we stepped up, I mean, our game substantially. Like, it was obvious that a goal was coming. It wasn't a question of if, it was a matter of when, and it felt that way. We had proven that Miami sending the ball deep was not going to work. Wyke had himself, I think, a brilliant game. I think he did exactly what he needed to do in his role today, playing that center of the back. He was able to chase down balls. He took good angles. He made good decisions with playing the ball. I thought he was a great outlet for both Castellanos and Guillen when they needed it. Fantastic game from him. So we took away the long ball, and we clogged up the middle of the field, which is why I'm so frustrated with the whole counter press, because we weren't giving Miami a lot of options, and it was just a recipe to create more opportunities, which is why I really wanted that from him. But that's fine. Let's get to about the 62nd we make subs. Nick Moon comes on for Alexander Rodriguez. Again, Rodriguez did a phenomenal job this game. He definitely built some confidence in me as a fan. I think he did a wonderful job. But I think we all kind of saw when Nick Moon came on, there was a difference with what he offers. Not only did he get a shot on goal, he offers us a different kind of view. There's a veteran leadership that he carries. Obviously, there's experience with his time in the league. I really hope we can keep him healthy, because I thought he was very dangerous, and he created a ton of issues for that Miami back left side. Then Arteaga comes on for Castellanos, which I was a little surprised, but I like the hunger in the team to say, screw it. We're going to go for it. Let's pull off a main defender, and let's put Arteaga up there. And I got to say, Manu put in 110% from that 62nd minute on. He was on. He was going up for everything. He was challenging everything. He was moving all over the field. He was trying to make space for other players. Like, I was very happy to see what he did once he got on the field. Then, of course, we get into the corner kicks. And like I said, you could tell earlier on that we were having a lot of success on the wings. But obviously, what happens when you're making success on the wings, you have a lot of corners in. We need guys to get up for the ball. I think the Manu move was kind of obvious. We needed somebody in there who was confident in the air. And he obviously created a problem for the defense. Let's see here. It looked like Boone, Bassett, and Alvarez are really started to build some really great chemistry on the right-hand side. Sorry, I had to look back at my notes here. We did a water break in the 75th right after Aaron's goal, which was great timing because it gave the group a chance to come together after the water break and just kind of solidify that we're on the right track, we're doing the right thing. I don't know if you saw, there was one of the specials the Rowdies put out, not specials, but one of the short clips. And you could hear what Steve was saying in the locker room to the guys about belief and just keep pushing. We're doing the right things. And I'm sure this is a great chance to kind of reiterate that and keep motivating the guys, because Moon, Bassett, Alvarez, man, just watch the three of them play. It is fun. And like I said at the beginning of this, the more time Alvarez gets in on this offense, I'm telling you, I know we do. I agree. We need a striker, someone to push these guys. I kind of feel like he might work up into that role. He's not afraid to take a shot. He has no problem getting behind defenses. Even a number of times when he knew it was to get the ball, he had no problem making the overlapping run out into the corner to drag another defender out wide, to move Bassett open or to move another forward open. Like he has no problem sacrificing himself for the good of the team. I like his attitude. So we get into the 84th. We substitute, was it Skinner and Bassett, I believe. Yes. Oh, no. So Skinner comes in for Bassett, which again, a little surprised, but I mean, maybe there was a minutes issue there. Maybe he was just getting tired. I mean, the guy's been playing with like his head is on fire. But Joey Skinner,
is that a ginger joke? Is that a ginger joke?
maybe. Skinner, who I gotta say, man, I like this kid. He was playing in the middle. I thought he did well. I know we typically see him on the left-hand side for Bodily. Look, I like this kid. It seems like wherever you put him, he's a problem. And honestly, it seemed like this is a move to kind of get pace with confidence on the ball and in the game here. Because, man, he got on there and he was 100 miles an hour. We were obviously pushing because not even 10 minutes later, that's when that sequence happens with Arteaga where, the cross comes over from Hilton. White sends it back across, Hilton feeds it back in, and Manu just with a beautiful goal. And to your point, what you said earlier, I'm so happy for that guy. I mean, strikers got to score goals, but man, just seeing him get that goal, and it wasn't just like, oh, it bounced off me kind of goal, but a goal that he put himself in position, buried in the back of the net. I was happy to see him. And the way the team rallied around him after that, I think says a lot too. I mean, like this team has got a ton of confidence, belief, and there's a huge amount of camaraderie, something we talked about last week. Because we're like, oh, why are you talking about, camaraderie? They lost. Well, look, if this team's going to believe, if this team's going to keep fighting the way they are right now, there's every reason to believe they can carry this into the playoffs. And like you said, I think we're only like 6 points out of a playoff spot. And I think the 8th and 7th seed are both tied. I think it's Pittsburgh and Indy, both with like 14 points. And we have 8? Yeah. So, I mean, like we're right behind them and we're getting ready to play Pittsburgh. And I got to say, if you look at the recent schedule, I mean, they don't look that great right now. I mean, they just played Indy and lost. They beat Detroit. They lost to Rhode Island, beat Rhode Island, lost to Philly, lost to Colorado, tied Louisville. I mean, look, this isn't a team that's blowing anybody up. And again, I know that we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here. I mean, my point is like, there's every reason to believe that we can carry this confidence in and carry it, right into the next game. I mean, one thing we've had issues with defensively, we've looked susceptible to goals. We didn't look susceptible to goals in this game. They might have had 1 or 2 chances that might have been a little scary, but I think White makes a wonderful job getting back on defense to make a stop. You saw an all-out park the bus defense it wasn't like we were just like luckily because we had 10 guys in the box. It was guys going up and getting the ball and making sure to clear it out for the last 8 minutes, because it was 10 minutes of extra time, which is insane. But Miami loves to flop because it's Miami. But I mean, like, it was a great team win, great team defense. I mean, like, it was a total win, and I don't care that it's against Miami. I mean, whatever, you got to beat the team in front of you, and they did it by willing themselves into that win. Doesn't mean all things are perfect, doesn't mean all things are great, but if the team is playing together like this, and this is really only Hilton's first full 90 back with the team, I mean, guys, what a healthy Hilton means. I mean, I would not be surprised if we go into Pittsburgh and punch them in the mouth with the attitude and the feeling this team has right now. Don't give me that look, Daniel. For you guys watching, you just have to suffer through this. But for you guys watching, you saw Daniel. No, don't pull back. Don't give me that look. I don't care. They're going to punch Pittsburgh in the mouth.
Have you watched a Tampa Bay Rowdies game when they were in Pittsburgh?
Hold on. So funny you bring this up. So Matt and I talked about this last year, and he brought up a surprising stat that showed that we are actually better in Pittsburgh than we think. It's not so uneven as we always think it is. We actually don't perform terribly. It's just when we lose bad or in a really crappy way. But we do compete well up there in Pittsburgh. I don't have the research. I would have to go dig out that episode, but I have to give it to Matt because he made me re-believe that it's not an impossible place to play. It's not the fortress that in our minds, we believe it to be. We've lost 2 horrible games by referees calls, which you know what I'm talking about.
I'm not talking about not even talking about the the results. It is a Bob Lilly special where it is just boring as all hell.
I know.
Like, it's gonna be like a 0-0 draw, and it's gonna be boring because that's what they do. I can't seem to find.
It's gonna be boring till about the 60th or 70th minute, somewhere in that time frame. We will score, and then all of a sudden Pittsburgh's gonna have to open up, and we will counter and catch them again. You watch. We are going to punch Pittsburgh in the mouth. Now, look, I know I made this bold statement this last one. We're going to win 4-1. We didn't win 4-1, but we did win 2-1. So I wasn't completely wrong. I was just kind of wrong. Hey,
Just-
you said it was going to be a shutout, so you weren't right either. Now, granted, you also said 2-0, but that's not the point. I'm just saying we did win.
We did, and that we should be very, very thankful for. But we suck on the road. It's Pittsburgh. I'm not feeling so confident.
Up to now.
Yes. I mean, obviously a streak has to start with 1. We won 1. We can do this. We can take it in. I will be content with a point on the road against Pittsburgh. Every point will help. But I mean, a win would be ideal because they're ahead of us in the standings. We need to beat everybody we can to climb back up. But I don't share your optimism here. Nothing about it is the least fun game. I would rather watch anything else than a Rowdies Pittsburgh game at Highmark. Like, just not my thing.
I get it. And you're probably right in this scenario, but I am going to be optimistic because since I have turned this page and I have moved into believing in this team and talked about the belief and creating that culture of belief and that you belong in every game and it starts with 1, I'm going to stick with it. Like, that was the one. I think Louisville was the turning page. I think this past game, that's the game we needed to get under our belt to prove we can win again. And then I don't see any reason why we can't go in there and go surprise someone. Like, in a streak, you have to get lucky. You're gonna have to get lucky a little bit, right? I mean, obviously, traditionally, luck happens at home, but it can happen on the road sometimes too. And you're right. I mean, a Bob Lilly game, he'll see that we're struggling, and he'll be like, "All right, well, break us down," and he'll just play counter. And I get that. That's probably what ends up happening here. But I like the fact that between Lewis Hilton and Alvarez and some of these guys that are willing to take chances and move the lines and create opportunities, I think the fact that our wingers are finding space and opportunity, I feel like there's a belief and a confidence, and to me, it feels like this might be the game we need a little luck, and it ends up happening, and I'm going to stick by that.
What part of this season makes you think we're going to get luck?
All of it, the whole thing. I don't know. I mean, it's just a feeling. I mean, sometimes you ever sometimes get a feeling like it's just, this is going to work. I don't know why, and I can't justify it with words, but it just feels right. It feels like this is the moment, and it feels like this is our moment. Like I said it last week and the week before. I believe this team just needs to believe to start a momentum and to string some wins together. I feel like this is that time. I feel like we either do this now or it's not going to happen.
I mean, yes, we can't keep waiting. They need the win. It's almost getting to the point where everything is becoming a must-win game if we want to make the playoffs. I would like to see them beat Pittsburgh, but like, realistically, pessimistically speaking, I'm channeling my inner Stephen Cundiff but like, if Bob Lilly sits back and plays counter, that's our 2 biggest weaknesses this year. We can't put the ball in the net, like, from open play. So we have to hope for a dangerous set piece, maybe, because Wubens seems to only score on a break, like on a counter himself, or so, unless we're starting Arteaga or Mustali. I don't know. We'll see with the line. And then on the counter, we've been getting burned 100 times because I love Lasso. I mean, he's rounding. I think he's hurt still, which is why he's not getting full minutes. So if he's coming back with some speed on a counter, he's already slow. Like, our 2 biggest vulnerabilities are the ones that, like, Bob Lilly lives off of. So I'm hoping I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I would love us to go in there and, win a 1-0, 2-1 game, something like that. But like, I don't feel that confident yet. And it's less about us and more about like what Bob Lilly can do. Like, I have the utmost respect for that man. And the fact that that man is still coaching in USL Championship is mind blowing.
I know.
He's like, I'm trying to think of a European equivalent of him. He could just do so much with so little consistently. Like maybe a David Moyes, like at Everton, who are just so frustrating all the time. They might not win trophies. They may not be the most glamorous club, but they get results and they're just there all the time. And it's frustrating and you hate playing against them, especially when they're home. Maybe a Tony Pulis back when he was, with Stoke and like doing it on a cold rainy night in Stoke, like just making it frustrating and annoying for like a place to play. But that's just like, it's just so consistent and so frustrating that like, that's what it's about. And you have Steve Coleman, God bless him. He's doing the Lord's work with this club. Does he have the knowledge and the experience to be able to, figure out Bob Lilly? Or maybe it's, youthful arrogance and he just goes and does punch Bob Lilly in the mouth, like, in the team, not physically. Please don't punch Bob Lilly in the face, Steve. Like, please don't do that.
You can punch Bob Lilly in the face.
Steve,
it's only a problem if you get caught. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? That's what this season actually needs: coach on coach violence. Like, screw it.
Just like they did back in the time in wars. Just bring out your best warrior, let them duke it out, and that's settle the sport.
Maybe
fine. Just
it's like the NHL. Maybe a fight will inspire the guys to just do their thing, like it'll be a motivation. But it's again, respect for Bob Lilly. And I do think that we can do it. I think we have the talent and the ability to do it. I've been burned so many times by that man and that club and at Highmark. I just hate every single bit of it.
No, I mean, look, I'm with you. And look at this game against Miami. Like Miami, I guess the thing that gives me some confidence is Miami played a very tight defense. They were not coming out of their shell for much of anything. They were looking for a quick break. Otherwise, it was a full on 10 behind the ball, turtle. It was annoying. And it was he tapped me, let me fall over for 5 minutes, roll around the field kind of thing. And it was a Miami game that was, it's not going our way. This is how we're going to play. I saw this team not get flustered by it and just keep pushing and eventually finding openings and finding space. And a lot has to do with just familiarity. And maybe you're right. Maybe there is Steve Coleman's youthful exuberance. Maybe it's his ignorance of Bob Lilly, although I don't know how we need to be ignorant of Bob Lilly at this point. The guy's a legend. Like you said, respect to him. I mean, you're absolutely right in this regard, but I mean, we just took a team that turtled on us. Why not take another team? We're familiar with it at this point. And I mean, again, why not? I mean, it's not that I want the team to go after it with reckless abandonment, but I mean, keep going. I mean, so we're not in last place. I can say that now. I mean, we're in second to last, but that's fine. That's better than last because you ain't first, you last. Sorry, I had to do it. I don't see why not go for it. I mean, I get that you want to be careful, but I feel like we are not at a point where we have the choice to be careful. I think we're at the point where we have to keep going for it, keep pushing the team, a team that has confidence. I mean, it's going to suck playing against a team that parks the bus though, and not have a striker that's willing to do the counter press work that we need. I hope that's just maybe it's just something that stood out in this game to me, because man, when you have one guy that's not doing it, it means there's always a player open, and it's almost pointless. You might as well go sit the other 9 guys over on the half field and just let them wait.
Yeah,
when you don't have a player who's bought into it.
I think you can start Arteaga this game because of that. If Alvarez, you just rely on Alvarez to make those secondary runs to peel off defense and to push, like him and Bassett might be able to, but Arteaga is probably the better presser, and if that's what we're looking for, we should do it. And like your point of like, why not just go for it? We're second to last place, like time is taken. It reminds me of back when in 2004 when the Lightning won their first Stanley Cup. John Tortorella had the saying like "safe as death" all over the locker room.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Like, let's do that. Like screw it. Like, hockey sometimes can, help us. As listeners of the show know, hockey was my first sport, is my first sport before finding the love of this game. So I'd make those references a lot. But safe as death. Like, go for it. Just push. We're not in the playoffs now, so what are we going to lose? Like, if we can, take some chances and it'll spark something, like maybe if we get into, 8th place, then maybe you can take your foot off the gas a little bit and like just play, not safe, but like, just play. I think you just need to take the shackles off and let these guys do what they do. I say it's a cliche in a lot of sports. If you play not to lose, you're going to lose. We need to be playing to win. Like, you have to try, take the game to force your will on the opponent. Even Bob Lilly, his teams can be overwhelmed, and we just have to play our game and have a coherent and consistent game plan with the personnel to match. And we're finally pretty healthy to where we can do that. I still think it's going to be like a 1-1 draw. I would like to see the fight and to see us go into Highmark swinging.
So kind of looking back at this Miami game, lineup wise, are there any changes that you would have made? Is there anything I mean, did you look at anything at the point in this game like, maybe that wasn't the right move, or I would have liked to seen this instead? Were there any kind of moments like that in what you
Not
saw?
not due to injury. Like there wasn't a choice, like a purposeful choice. Like obviously, I would love to have Leo and Forrest in there, but those are minutes and injury. Other than that, like full credit to Lawrence Weick. He was the scapegoat for the first part of the season until he got that red card. And it seems he came back and used that red card suspension as a reset point mentally and just came back and is playing the way we know Lawrence White can. I think that was the frustrating part of the beginning of the season was he was not playing like the Lawrence White we knew. And so he's back. Like if he keeps playing like this, he's back. And we said it early that this is going to be the season of resilience, of redemption, of like resurrection. Al Lang came back from being wrecked by a hurricane. We had a rough year. Leo, is healthy. Lewis is now back healthy. We're coming back, and if we can make the playoffs, like there should be the USL Championship should be on notice if we somehow make the playoffs. Like I really think there's something that can happen there. Like I don't want to say we're back. Like I jokingly posted it on Blue Sky. We're not there yet,
No.
but I think if this team can rise from the ashes of whatever the first half of the season was and get into the playoffs, I would be worried if I'm the USL Championship. Like there will be a belief, an aura around this club that like we've already seen and done it. You can't phase us. But I don't want to put the cart before the horse. Let's win a few more games.
But that's.
Go ahead. No,
I was going to say, but that's why I have the confidence that I do. And like, I want them to just, not with reckless abandonment, but I want them to go for it. I mean, these are the kind of moments you have to, I mean, let's say we go and we dominate, but we slip up and maybe Pittsburgh beats us. It doesn't take away from the attitude that the team is playing with because you can still move yourself forward, even in a loss. And we saw that in Louisville, right? I mean, it can happen in Pittsburgh. I mean, it's Pittsburgh. Anything is possible there. I get that and I respect that. But I would rather see us, just, take the gloves off. Let the guys go for it and see what happens because you have to test yourself. I mean, a team that wants to be to challenge in the playoffs has to be battle tested. And this is a good test against a good team because it's not like Pittsburgh's the only team that plays that way. There's plenty of other teams that play this way. You might as well go through it now. We're figuring it out. I mean, like, I would just, again, I would rather see this team play with that confidence and continue to move forward to see what happens. Because, I mean, like you said, I mean, there's every reason to believe that if this team can start stringing some wins together, there's no way that the teams at the top don't look down and see how many wins in a row they got? They got 3? Oh, shit. All right, well, let's keep an eye on that before we play them next. I mean, you have to because, I mean, but that's something that the Rowdies have brought over the last 7 years. They've earned that right. So I mean, yes, we still got a lot to do. There's still plenty to overcome. Pittsburgh and Indy are not going to be you're not going to walk through either one of those teams. You're going to have to fight for scrap for every point against both of them. But I'd rather doing it the way that we just did this game, where we fought back our way back in and pushed with multiple players. I mean, every substitute made a difference in this game. Everyone who came on pushed the ball, pushed the envelope, push the game forward. And I mean, that's what you need. You need a full team that's bought in and that is not afraid to say, hey, this is my turn. I'm going to make the most of it to help the team get this win. And they did that. It's exciting to feel this way again, to feel like it's not just you and I talking about the little finer points. And I know some of you guys are getting tired of us talking about those things, but I mean, but this is what it was all about, right? And I get it. It's one win against a team that's 2 places above us. Doesn't matter. It's about what this win means and how we went about doing it that matter. So yeah, I mean that was just big for me.
I do like subs coming in at decent times instead of throwing on a striker or players. We discussed it last week, I believe, where Steve, from the early on when I talked about it from the book, and now Steve Coleman and our club is slowly starting to use that info. Not that it came from us. It's probably been bounced around coaching circles for a bit. The Rays are also big data guys. I know that they might have info on that already. If I have it from a book from 5-10 years ago, I'm sure the data is even better now. But it's showing that making those subs early is key. Like, you know, a lot of coaches get wedded to these things. And 60th minute, man, 50th, 60th minute, that's when subs should be happening, and they are. And it is changing the game. I saw somebody reply to your comment on Facebook about like, well, the game changed when the subs came on. Well, that's the point of subs. You know, I get what you're trying to say, that like maybe it was stale until then, but that's the whole point of subs. Like you make them to change the game. They shouldn't be like for like, unless, you know, it's working and whatever. But like they are, you know, I think it's the NWSL or a club in the NWSL that calls their subs game changers, or maybe it was the super. They literally they don't call them substitutes; they call them game changers for that. And I like that because that's their whole point.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to harp on anybody or anything. I'm just saying, like, we should applaud this progressive use of subs, like this forward thinking, this new age coaching philosophy. And that's what I was hoping to see out of a Steve Coleman. You know, like, yes, Neil Collins was a new coach and he did bring new ideas and stuff, but he was also a lifelong player of the game and steeped in English soccer culture. Steve Coleman comes, you know, yes, he's English, but cut his teeth in New Zealand and is a young guy just coming up. I was hoping for a new, fresh perspective. And I know a lot of times foreign coaches haven't really meshed well with American soccer, but I think like Steve Coleman has figured it out and is doing well. He's young enough. And I want fresh ideas, you know, like to tie it to our ownership group, which I keep doing like every week about other things, you know, like they've always brought a fresh approach to baseball, which baseball hated. I mean, they pretty much, like Joe Madden and the Rays, like brought the shift to the forefront of baseball. And now the shift is illegal because baseball's stupid. The opener, they hated the opener now, and bullpen days. And now the league is doing bullpen. Like, I don't think data can be as much of a driver in soccer, but we can innovate in different ways. And I think if Steve Coleman and the Rays want to do that and it works, good. And if one of those things is just moving your substitute window from the like 65th, 70th to 75th minute back to 50 to 60th, and it's working, great, please do it. I'm going to continue to harp on that because I'm not right on this podcast very often, and I feel validated and vindicated. So shut up, guys.
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, we know that Steve Coleman was brought in. He was brought in to relate to the players. He was brought in specifically to be that wedge between the head coach and the players. Like, that is his job, is to relate to these guys and respond to them. And I mean, these players, we knew it before that other guy got fired. I mean, we heard, you know, that the players really liked Steve Coleman a lot. And I think that shows in the way they've responded to him, the way they've stayed engaged, the way they've stayed motivated, the way they have progressed despite all of the millions of mishaps and unfortunate injuries and all these things that have happened. They are still engaged and wanting to try to see the season out in a positive way. And that speaks volumes about him as a coach and as a person. Kind of changing gears for a minute. I want to jump back into Lawrence White thing. And I want to preface this with, first of all, if ever this gets back to Forrest Lasso, I want to start here. Lasso, I love you to death, man. And if you are the starter till the end of the season, until you are done, I will be happy. I will have no issues whatsoever with that. I love you as a player. I love you as a leader of this team. I'm just posing a question because that's what we do here. Would you, Dan, do you think that Lawrence White offers us something different that Forrest Lasso doesn't, in a better or worse way? Because one thing that I think White has done very well these last 3 games is he has more pace. He takes really good angles. He's able to stop that ball over the top. He has been able to thwart that multiple times in a way that we've kind of been lacking on in other ways. Do you think, I mean, just what are your thoughts on that? It's a tough one, I know, but it was something I thought about because I'm really happy the way White's playing right now, and he is playing lights out soccer.
I would keep him as a right center back in a 3-back system. I think Lasso's height and presence and leadership are more important. It's like Jordan Doherty was great was offered something different. It was really good as a center back as well. But losing that height and the leadership that Forrest, I don't know if I would risk it. I think I would just keep Wyke on the right hand side to cut that. Kind of like when we were at our best defensively in the back three, it was Lasso, Guillen, and Scarlett. And if you go back and watch those games, Lasso would get beat over the top and Jordan Scarlett would come out of nowhere and just clean it up. And we can do it with Wyke, coming across and taking a different approach on that run as well, as long as our right wing back or right midfielder covers that outside guy, because we can have Wyke pull in and then just leave somebody wide open back post, which is kind of what happened in some earlier games because we don't have a right wing back to cover. Or like Lewis Hilton can slot back. The experience of Lewis Hilton would leave him to come back as well. So I don't think we don't need to have that binary of Lasso or Wyke. I think Wyke should be playing that. And now that he seems to have found himself again after his suspension, I think we should just keep him as the right center back in a 3-back and let him clean it up, kind of like, usually you would hope your center back like Lasso would be like your sweeper or stopper in that situation. But I think Wyke having the speed and the vision to just come back like Jordan Scarlett used to do and clean it up is what I would propose.
Okay, so bringing off like a Castellanos for Wyke kind of situation.
Yes.
Which, I mean, it's tough because I do think Castellanos has been absolutely phenomenal as well, right?
Yeah.
But these are good problems to have as a coach. I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to drive at is like, we have, I think, a couple options here, and they're all working, right?
Finally.
I mean, it's like, and again, taking away Bondre's little blunder there, which I think he just got caught between two decisions, which it happens. It just sucks. It just feels like these blunders happen at like the most inopportune time to us. That's kind of been the theme of the year, right? But other than that, though, I think he's been a great stopgap since he's taken over the head goalkeeper position. So I don't know. It was just I want to give Wyke some love because I mean, again, like you, I was a couple games ago. I was like, I want him off the field. I don't want him anywhere near the field. He doesn't have to wear that jersey right now. The way he played, it's selfish. Goodbye. And he really. I don't know who got in his head. I don't know who called him. Maybe Neil gave him a call and said, hey, straighten out. I mean, that's definitely not what happened. But somebody clearly got to Wyke and leveled with him. I mean, for all we know, that could have been a Forrest. That could have been an Aaron. I mean, it could have been anyone, right? But somebody obviously got to him and has got him on the path. And he's at least deserved the right to be in that conversation, which is why I brought it up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I fully think, if we're gonna call out players for mistakes and poor play, we should be complimenting them when either the same player turns it around, or B, like they're just having a great game. Like I don't want to just constantly crap on people because of bad things. Like we can call out and call in like if they're doing great. And I don't know who talked to Wyke either. Maybe he just listens to our show and can tell that we were pissed and people are pissed.
Right.
My working theory is just Steve Coleman one day a week just puts us on in the locker room and then that's like decides what's going to happen.
Can you imagine? Oh, that's nice to do that. All right, right that down.
Yeah, like
play the okay. I'm going to write that down.
So, that's my working theory. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Who knows? But,
we've covered this game. I mean, we're good. I think we've covered Pittsburgh as well. I mean, I think if I take another step back and I look at things, I like the position we're in. I realize there's still a ton of work to do, but I like what we're seeing from the players we need to see it from. It's so nice to have Lewis Hilton back. I said it immediately. Within the first 5 minutes of him being on the field. I mean, in the last game, as soon as Hilton comes on, Alvarez comes on, I mean, the game changed. And now starting him, the game was immediately different. And I'm excited for where the potential of this team is headed, And so we move on.
Yeah, we were just being really nice to the rest of the Eastern Conference, and we spotted them like 20 games, or like 10 games, 15 games, whatever it is.
I'll give them a chance.
Yeah, we wanted to, let them know that like we're nice. We wanted them to all have a chance, but we're going to start playing now.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, all right, time to show up. All right, so where do we go from there? So some of y'all may or may not recognize the fact that there is something lacking in front of Dan and I, and that is the fact that we didn't either one of us has Jaeger shots. Although we discussed it, we are going to save those shots for the next Jägermeister Cup game.
Yeah.
It just seems fitting.
I also cannot drink anymore right now.
I mean,
I was at a rehearsal dinner / party / wedding / I don't. And then it took 24 hours of living in an airport to get home. There was no way I could do any Jaeger today. It is on the list. We will do it. I promise you. I obviously do not renege on my bets since I have that right there.
that is glorious.
But this is the first day I felt human in the last 4 days. So yeah, one shot's not going to do much, but
Yeah. I got you. Look, I have no excuse. I just flat out forget until I sit down to do the notes for the podcast, and I realize
when I go buy my bottle, I'll text you to buy your bottle.
Yeah, I don't. Whatever. Fine. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what's next? Questions, thoughts, anything going on outside of the soccer landscape?
There was the little bit of Tampa Bay soccer news where the developer and the Tampa Bay Sun dropped a rendering of a potential Ybor stadium. It doesn't seem like there's anything behind it. It seems like they want to build a stadium in Ybor. They have the concept of an idea of what they want. I saw something like a 15,000 seat stadium, which at this moment feels a little excessive for where we are at. But obviously it takes time. Let the Sun build. They just won the championship, so momentum is going. But it doesn't seem like much is there. So I don't want to speculate that this means like the Rowdies are going to move to Ybor or anything of the sort. I thought the stadium looked cool. Soccer specific stadium in Tampa Bay would be great for for all intents and purposes. But I wouldn't hold my breath. The Bay Area especially should be pretty numb to stadium renditions from baseball and soccer. Let's not forget Bill Edwards' plans that were gorgeous for the Al Lang site.
God,
I know, right? What could have been, what should have been, but I am now really 100% just skeptical of any stadium news until shovels are in the ground, and even then, I don't know if I believe it. I need to be walking in on opening day to see it. So yeah, it's cool, it's great. Wish the Sun the best at your inaugural USL Super League champion, Tampa Bay Sun. I wish them the best, but I wouldn't put any weight in it yet. We'll see. I hope good things, obviously, but I wouldn't get too spun up about it yet. Other than that, what are your thoughts?
No, I completely agree. I think you're 100% right. I think on the surface, I think it's a cool idea. I'd love to see a soccer specific stadium in the Tampa area. I think it'd be great. It'd be cool to see. I think it'd be neat to see like a Rays or not a Rays, but a Rowdies and Sun collaboration, USL League. Headquarters kind of do this. I think there could be something super cool in all that. And I thought the renderings look really neat. I love renderings, even the ones that are ridiculous. I remember seeing one back when we were doing this whole MLS St. Pete thing. I remember seeing one about somebody putting a soccer stadium on a floating barge off in the Gulf, and thinking to myself, okay, no, but oh my God, yes, because it looked incredible. Look, I'm a sucker for a good rendering. This is a cool rendering because the thought is, what else can you do there? Why not? Right?
Can we stir the pot that there's potential that the Rowdies and the Sun would be playing next to the USL League headquarters? It just shows that, we are the Tampa Bay teams are USL's favorite, and all of the calls will go our, when we win a championship, obviously like the Sun just did, it's because the USL is just favoring us. They're paying off the refs. The headquarters is right there. We're the flagship. We're the face of the, we're playing on USL headquarters ground. We are USL's team. We are the USL's team.
Yeah, look, like Tom Brady when he's got all 7 of his rings on, I'll cry myself to sleep at night with all those rings. I don't care. That's a you problem, not a me problem. Whoever you had a problem with it, sucks to be you. You live in Sucksville,
Birmingham, Alabama.
pretty much.
I don't
Yes.
know why. I don't know why they're the punching bag. I don't. I really don't. I need
It's
to.
Alabama. Do we really need a reason?
That's true. But I love
They beat
Kaler.
themselves.
I love Kaler. I just
Oh,
hate
yeah, that's fair.
Alabama.
Taylor's pretty awesome. Right, he's pretty great. But no, I mean, look, it just, I mean, look, I'm a sucker for a good rendering. I thought it was neat when it came out. I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. I mean, like, obviously there isn't really anything else there to go off of other than, hey, man, since we just won the championship, what do people think of an idea like this? And I think it's a cool idea to float out there. And good on the PR team. I mean, that's what you should do. Capitalize on this energy. And for any one of you that didn't make it to a Sun game, I 100% encourage y'all to go. I enjoyed it. I was a season ticket holder. I unfortunately missed a bunch of them towards the later half of the season because I had to work a ton, due to the fact that it was like home game central for Rays and Rowdies for like a while. But I will say that I love going. I think it's a lot of fun and good on them. Congrats to them. I'm happy for them. And hey, if you guys can pull off something like that, I mean, you having success doesn't take away from our success. I say go for it. I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, I mean, it better not. I mean, and congrats, again, I guess we should wrap this up. So, like, a little we love you to the Tampa Bay Sun and their winning, and all of the fans, the heat wave. This was an incredible inaugural year. And for the USL Super League in general, kudos to them. I can't wait to see what year 2 brings. It was a success on and off the pitch. Congrats to the Tampa Bay Sun. And I just know that you'll never be Gotham. I'm just kidding. Congrats, guys.
All right. Someone just sent him like a bag of dicks. They have it out there. Somebody's got his address. If you don't, you give me the money and I'll send him the bag of dicks. Okay. I'll do it for us all. And then we'll send him a potato as well.
Thank God I'm moving in like a month.
Right. I got to get the new address.
Nope.
Don't forget about me. Okay. Actually, I do have something I got to send you anyway, so that's fine. Okay, guys. Well, look, we all have a reason to be excited. I mean, for those that made it to the game, you guys showed out well. I thought the stadium was electric. Pride Night, I think, went off wonderfully well. Saw a lot of beautiful people out there. It was a great time. I'm excited. We got to win, and we get to do it again in 2 more weeks. So in the meantime, we support the team as they move their way out to Pittsburgh and take on a very tough Bob Lilly team. And then we got Indy at home, and it's going to be, I want that place to be rocking. I mean, I don't care what you are, what you're doing. Grab a friend, grab your friend's friend, get your ass out to this game, and let's go support this team.
Come on, you Rowdies.
Come on, you Rowdies.
The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, they kick the ball around. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, and then they fall on the ground. Oh, the Rowdies, the Rowdies, the Rowdies are kicking the grass. When the Rowdies play soccer, it's a sight to behold. You'll swear they'll be devils with magical toes. You'll laugh, you'll cheer, you'll leap from your seat when they kick with their head instead of their feet. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, they kick the ball around. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, and then they fall on the ground. Oh, the Rowdies, the Rowdies, the Rowdies are kicking the grass. When the Tampa Bay Rowdies take the field, there's a roar. The fans, loyal fannies, cheer the team they adore. There's music, there's laughter, pretty girls all around. It's exciting to live